Recently, the people at Super Coffee sent me this. This is all of their new super coffees, which are multi-flavored. They have all the cool ingredients you would expect from an awesome company like Super Coffee. They are organic and they are pods, so it's nice and easy. And if you're like me, you've been using pods lately because they work so well. Now we've got Super Coffee coffee pods. I'm sure they're going to be delicious. They're also recyclable, so you're not just throwing all this stuff in the landfill when you're finished. And one of the reasons my hair's wet, and we're going to run through those two coffees right now, and I'm going to do the other two coffees at a different time, is because we're really drinking all this coffee. Now, this is hardly the way I would normally drink coffee, but it is closer to a real experience because I'm going to finish all of this and actually take some time to enjoy it rather than just do a taste test. Because of a lot of comments I've received, it's really made me think about the fact that when you sit down and do a taste test and just take a sip of something, that's not the way you really drink it or eat it or enjoy it. So I want to take these products and have them just have a cup of vanilla coffee with hazelnut creamer in it one morning. And that's what I'm going to be doing so that I can come back for a recap at the end of these videos and say, not just in a one sip taste test, this is what I liked, but actually living with the coffee and drinking full cups of it. This was my experience. But I did want to do it this way just to get a first reaction and to get a side-by-side comparison. But I will be living with these products, getting up, making them, going to work, doing my normal thing, and really experiencing what it's like to sit down and drink an 8-ounce cup of each of these different flavor combinations and really see what it's like to live with this coffee and to only consume smart coffee for a while. And that's going to be an interesting thing to find out too. I'm going to start the taste test today with the regular old Super Coffee. This is the dark roast. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this. I'm going to have my wife try it too. And we're going to try each one of the coffees with each one of the creamers. I thought that would be a good way to test them out, see which ones go together, mix and match. So starting with the dark roast. The first thing I'm going to do is just try it black with no creamer in it, just to see what I think. Okay, that's good, and I'm a little bit pleasantly surprised also. Because they use monk fruit in their sweetened products, it says monk fruit on this package, and I was scared that the coffee was going to be pre-sweetened, which would be fine for some of the flavors, but I wanted there to be one that wasn't sweetened because that's usually my go-to. This is not sweetened. It's smooth, it's strong, the way you would expect a dark roast to be. So smooth. For me, it's just delicious, smooth, hot coffee. Because I like dark, it's perfect, and it's a great palette to then paint on with different flavors of creamer, I would say. And it's organic, which totally, I just now started thinking that that might be an important thing that I want to get into. And I'm so glad these guys went organic with this. I haven't officially made the change to only organic, but maybe I have now because this is great and it's organic and it's recyclable and I love it. And it can't get any easier than coffee pods, right? And what I'm gonna do here is a splash of my favorite, the regular creamer. This is just the original flavor. I'm just gonna put a little bit of original creamer in there. So this is completely unsweetened. Give it a little stir. And here we go. This is the way I would have it most mornings. Perfect. just exactly what I would expect, and also what I'm kind of used to. I'm used to good coffee with this creamer, and there's no difference from any other high quality coffee in this. I've mentioned before the brands that I like, the quality coffees that I like, several other brands of cold coffees. If I like the coffee and then put this creamer in it, it's a win for me every time. And this is good stuff. Now I'm going to go for a product that I've never reviewed on this channel that we've been using for a while because my wife likes sweet coffee. And so she uses this sweet cream that they just released. The only thing I don't like about it is the colors are a little too close. I've bought this one by accident before when I wanted this one, but it's great. It's a great solution for her because she doesn't always want vanilla or hazelnut. She just wants sweet coffee. And it's easier to use this because it's already pre-sweetened than it is to use this and then stir in this, which is what she usually does. This is a great product, but it's an extra step and it's a dry powder, and so you're stirring that in. With this, you just pour it in and go. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this regular sweet creamer in here and give it a taste. And that is, again, exactly what I would expect. Sometimes I have sweet coffee too. And if I made my regular good coffee with my regular good creamer and put a good sweetener in it, it would taste really good. The thing about this is because it's pre-mixed in here, it's so smooth. It's not just skipping a step. It's already like in there. There's not going to be a clump. There's not going to be any kind of feeling. It just tastes like it's always been this way, is the way it tastes. So I like doing it this way much better than using a separate sweetener. Plus the monk fruit is really good stuff. To me, it's turning out to be a really good sugar substitute as far as how it works with your body on the glycemic index, but also how good it tastes. Now I'm going to hit some with this vanilla. Here we go. Man, every time I have the vanilla or the hazelnut, it's just like, why don't you have it all the time, Keith? Well, I like plain, but it makes it a special treat to have it this way. I also like keeping my artificial sweeteners low, the artificial sweetener intake low, really. And it seems to work better for me. Everybody's different. My wife doesn't. But when I have this, it's like a special treat because the vanilla flavoring is so good. And of course it matches very well with a really good dark roast coffee for me. It's just really good. What I'm excited and interested in is when we move into the other flavors of coffee. What's going to happen when you put when you mix and match the different flavors? That's going to be cool. This is kind of good the way I expect it to be when I'm having the dark roast. And now we're going to finish up by doing it with a little hazelnut. As you know from my review of the hazelnut product, these people at Smart Coffee made me like hazelnut coffee, which is something I used to make fun of. So you know I like this, and I look forward to tasting it. It's just good. It's exactly what I expect. There's no surprises for me from the creamers. I've already had them all. The report here on the first coffee is that this is great coffee. Whether you're going to drink it black, whether you're going to add your own creamer and your own sweetener, or whether you're going to use one of their fine products. If you like dark roast coffee that is smooth and strong, it's going to give you that kick, but it's not going to give you that bitterness and that aftertaste. This is a great product. It's organic and it's also recyclable. Okay, now this is exciting. We're going to try the Mocha. And I say we because I'm getting my wife to taste it too. By the way, our favorite way to have the plain, for me, I still love all the way plain with no sweet. But if I was having one of the sweet flavors. I liked it best with vanilla, and she did too. And now we're gonna move on to mocha. I'm just gonna try it straight first to get a little taste of this. Now, like I've said before on this channel, I'm not a flavored coffee person. I understand that people who do like flavored coffee like it better when the coffee bean is flavored and the coffee itself is flavored instead of just getting it from the creamer. I don't know. It definitely tastes mocha, and you taste mocha. It doesn't taste like coffee with a chocolate flavor profile, which that's the kind of coffee I like. Usually it has like notes of chocolate in it, but this is like real mocha flavor. I taste it. And I think that's gonna go great with the hazelnut. But I'm gonna start with my regular unsweetened. I got a hint of sweetness from that, but it is not sweetened in any way. There's no sweetener listed in the ingredients, just all the good ingredients you would expect from these people, the vitamins, antioxidants, and of course the organic coffee, and then natural mocha flavoring. So this is it with just the plain creamer that I usually use. That's also what I expected. It's still got that mocha flavor, of course, and just the creamy taste, but nothing sweet to it. I probably wouldn't have this way myself, because if I'm gonna go for the mocha flavor, I'm probably gonna wanna sweeten it. Otherwise, I would just want a dark coffee that had chocolatey notes to it, which I kind of think that their plain coffee did, because I liked it. It wasn't real pronounced, but it had a dark richness that I liked. But this is good if you want something other than plain. The mocha flavor, having the mocha flavor in there definitely adds a different layer to the flavor profile, and that's cool. Now I'm gonna hit it with a little sweet creamer. That's interesting. With the plain creamer, to me, it tastes less chocolatey, maybe an almost nutty flavor going on. It's great coffee and great creamer, probably not my first choice. Now we're gonna go mocha with vanilla. For me and my wife, there's almost like a flavor clash going on there. It's like vanilla and mocha aren't playing well together for me in that one. And this is what really makes sense to me. Hazelnut with mocha, that just sounds right, doesn't it? So put a little splash of that in there. That really goes. I really like the mocha and the hazelnut together. That is the perfect light sweet treat for me if I want to go sweet with my coffee. Mocha with hazelnut, besides plain unsweetened, that's my favorite combo so far. All right, today guys, we're gonna be going over the vanilla flavored smart coffee. Get up a little closer there for you. This is the vanilla super coffee with the flavor in the bean, in the pod, in the ground coffee. And I'm going to be trying it with each of the 4 creamers as I did before. I was just editing the video and I realized I didn't throw in a taste test of the plain coffee with no creamer. And I was coming downstairs to make myself a cup of coffee to have while I was editing. And this is the hazelnut coffee. I haven't put any creamer in it yet. And I just want to taste of it without anything in it to see what I think. It's hazelnut coffee. I, I don't know why, but I keep being surprised at just how smooth it is. There's no aftertaste or anything with this coffee. It's just really smooth, and it's got a good hazelnut flavor, and there's no bitterness with that either. You know, sometimes nuttiness can be bitter, sometimes coffee can be bitter. There's nothing like that here. I know I knew before I tasted it I would prefer it sweet, but it's good just like this. And I know that there are some people that would like a flavored coffee not sweet, and so I wanted to get that taste in. It's just good and smooth, and I love this stuff. I'm going to start out with the plain creamer, my favorite unsweetened original smart creamer. See how this goes? That makes sense to me. I taste the vanilla. It's it's good flavored coffee. It's just all of the coffee so far. I've liked the coffee itself. I've got to think if you like vanilla coffee, you would like this. But it is flavored in the bean in the pod, and so it's not sweet. Which makes me think that this is going to be a good way to have it. This is the sweet creamer, which I have not done a full review, as I mentioned. If you like your coffee with cream and sugar, this is smart creamer with the monk fruit sweetener in it. And so it's just a good straight ahead taste, and it saves my wife from having to use this and then add her own sweetener. So vanilla with this is going to work pretty well, I can tell you already. There you got good coffee, you got good vanilla flavor, and then you've got a great sweetening method. So this is great. Now we're going to get into some real flavor here because we got the vanilla coffee and the vanilla flavored sweetened sweet creamer from Super Creamer. This should be just even better if you're looking for that sweet vanilla taste. Oh, yeah. Okay. If you're a vanilla fan, this is definitely the way I would go with this, just because that little extra oomph that it gives you. You know, if you're a real fan, getting the vanilla flavor and the vanilla creamer at the same time really works. This is great with the plain coffee too. You can just use this also, like if you're in a household where the other person wants plain coffee. This works really well, but if I had to choose, I would rather have plain coffee with the vanilla creamer than vanilla coffee with the plain creamer. Myself, that's just because this is a lot of vanilla flavor in a really good way. The complexity of the flavored coffee with the flavored creamer, this is really good. That's really good. That's a really good sweet treat. Now this is one that I think is going to be good based on the fact that we've been drinking these coffees for a while. They gave us 4 boxes of pods, and I've been doing other experiments that I'll mention later with how it feels to only drink smart coffee. But what we found to be a favorite was the chocolate flavored coffee with the hazelnut creamer. That's going to be a hard to beat combo right there. It's really good. But I think hazelnut and vanilla is going to go well together too. Let's see. Hmm. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't do this combination myself. When I think about hazelnuts, my first thought is how good it goes with chocolate, whether it's in a chocolate bar with hazelnuts or whether you're talking about hazelnut coffee with some chocolate in it. It's just a great combo, hazelnut and chocolate. Hazelnut and vanilla. Hazelnut and vanilla just doesn't really do it for me. This isn't my favorite at all. This is just fine if you want unsweetened but you want vanilla flavor. This is good. This is great. This is probably my least favorite combination out of this group of four. Hazelnut with the vanilla coffee. Hazelnut with the vanilla coffee. I just don't think I love hazelnut and vanilla together. At least not nearly as much as hazelnut with chocolate. So that's what I think about these four combos. I really want to give all of these flavors a shot, though. I will continue to be drinking these, like entire cups of these, to really experience what it's like to sit down and have a cup and not just have a taste test. I've made myself a cup of the vanilla coffee. I forgot to test the vanilla without creamer, and so I'm going to test that now. Yes, I am editing the video you're now watching while I'm making the video you're now watching. Weird, right? And also, I have wax in my mustache. I have mustache wax on to keep the mustache out of the coffee. It's all just good. It's all good. I would never drink this like this. I would never drink this unsweetened. I've brought some creamer up here with me to put in it after I make this. I'm going to put vanilla creamer in this, and as you'll see in the test, I like it that way. Um, but if you are the type of person who would like vanilla flavored coffee with no sweetener in it, just black, I can't imagine any reason that you would not like this. It's delicious, smooth coffee that tastes great with vanilla flavor in it that tastes like vanilla, nothing weird, no aftertaste, no bitterness, anything that you might associate with any kind of artificial flavoring or anything. It tastes like coffee with vanilla. So hot it's melting my mustache wax. Who wants hazelnut? You get a hazelnut, you get a hazelnut, you get a hazelnut, you get a hazelnut. Okay, here we are with the hazelnut coffee. This is hazelnut coffee. It's in the bean, it's in the pod. This is gonna be cool. Wonder how this is gonna go. I have no idea. This is my very first tasting of this. Like I've said before, I'm gonna drink all of this and test it out in more real world situations instead of just this taste test. But this is just an initial taste test to see what I think. So let's get to it. This is, of course, the plain creamer. This is a great creamer, but just like any great creamer, if you want the coffee to be sweet, you're going to need to sweeten it. But I don't usually sweeten my coffee. And when I do want sweet coffee, I use one of these three flavors. So this just isn't my favorite. I like plain coffee with plain creamer. So far, all of these flavored coffees, I would rather have them with sweetened creamer, even if it's not flavored, and that's what we'll try next. This is just the plain sweet creamer. Gonna have the hazelnut coffee with the sweet creamer. See what I think. Okay, that's good. Wow, that surprises me. Not that it's good, but that it's that good, because I'm really expecting, after the last test, not to like vanilla and hazelnut together, although this could surprise me also. You never know. And then I'm thinking doubling up on the hazelnut is just going to be like hazelnut heaven, as it were. But this is great, especially from the standpoint of if you're a fan of the sweet creamer and you just want to have some of this around, you don't have to have different kinds of creamer to go with it. This is really good. The hazelnut flavored coffee and the sweet creamer, this is plenty sweet enough. It really goes well with that hazelnut flavor. Let's do the vanilla. Like I said, I don't have high hopes for this, but you never know. It's different but the same because of the way it tastes when the hazelnut is coming from the coffee rather than the creamer. It's very different than when you have the flavor of hazelnut coming from the creamer and not the coffee. So it is different, but I'm just not a fan of vanilla and hazelnut apparently. So this again isn't my favorite. Nothing wrong with it, but I don't like those two flavors together. Now this, I'm expecting to knock it out of the park because hazelnut and hazelnut, how could it not be great? That really makes me want to do a back and forth here. And again, I'm surprised. I like it better with the sweet creamer. Out of these four, I would pick, out of these four, I would pick the hazelnut coffee and the sweet creamer. When I do the hazelnut coffee with hazelnut creamer, I'm overwhelmed with hazelnut. It's not bad by any stretch. To me, this has a really good flavor, and this just accents that good flavor. And this is kind of overwhelming it. This is great. This will make your regular coffee taste like hazelnut, and it does a beautiful job. And it makes that chocolate coffee taste chocolatey, hazelnutty, and it is really, I think it's still my favorite. But when you go hazelnut, there's something about it I don't like. It doesn't double up and make it even better like it did with the vanilla creamer with vanilla coffee. This is the way to go for me. It just really brings out the delicious hazelnut flavor in that coffee, creams it and sweetens it beautifully, and this makes me happy. Okay, final thoughts, and I'm saving the best, most important part for last. No surprise for me, our favorite combination was this right here. The mocha coffee with the hazelnut creamer is just delicious. It's like having dessert and have it being good for you too. The biggest pleasant surprise for both of us was that we loved double vanilla. Vanilla coffee with vanilla creamer. The two flavors work together perfectly, and I'm usually not a big vanilla person at all. And this was my second favorite combination that we tried, at least of the sweet coffee. Another surprise was that I didn't like it when we did the same thing with the hazelnut. I thought that when I enjoyed the double vanilla, I would certainly enjoy the double hazelnut. But what I found is that it worked much better for me to use hazelnut coffee with the plain sweet creamer or use the hazelnut creamer with the plain coffee. And then for what I think is the most important point of all of this video, like I said, I lived with this coffee. I didn't just do those taste tests. I've been drinking smart coffee and going for long runs of drinking nothing but smart coffee because I wanted to see how it affected me. This is my real favorite because I drink this much more than I drink sweet coffee. Plain, unsweetened, original super creamer and this new dark roast plain coffee, which has definitely become an important part of my life now. I'm already looking into the biggest order I can make of it to try to get the best deal possible. Like, I want a 70-something pod case of the stuff. I'm going to be drinking this stuff. And the reason is it made me feel good. I've been using this for a while and I like it, and it has probably done things for me from a health standpoint, but I can't honestly tell you that I felt a big change. Sometimes we don't feel those changes. Sometimes a supplement can take up to 3 months to really make you feel differently. And so my life didn't change overnight when I switched to this product. I'm glad I have it, and the changes I did experience were real, because the change from dairy creamer to this did make me feel different. The change I experienced when I went from my regular coffee to this was evident immediately. It says vitamins and antioxidants. Vitamins and antioxidants are good for you, right? But the thing that gets my attention is not a lot of information about exactly how that works, but it says right there, for focus and clarity. I just happened to start drinking this the exact week the world kind of went crazy. And yes, I was still working because I am essential staff, as it were. And the whole world's falling apart, and I'm having to go to work and deal with that. Being in harm's way. I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. It was not an ideal situation for me. And I started drinking this coffee because it was time to get going on making this video. And I felt a difference. I felt better. I felt more energy, and I didn't feel jacked up on caffeine. That's not the way it felt to me. I, like the people behind this company, am not a fan of energy drinks or going bonkers with caffeine, things like that. Whenever I've tried those things, it made me feel bad. It made me feel like my heart was racing, or that something bad was going to happen. And then you hear about bad things happening. And then you look at the ingredients list on those kind of things, and it's just so unhealthy. And these guys decided to create an alternative to what's out there in the energy drink market. And they've done it. They've done it for me. To me, this is worth drinking simply because of the way I felt. It felt enough different that I might try to train myself to drink it, even if I didn't like it. Luckily, it's some of the best coffee I've ever had. It is good, straight ahead, dark roast coffee. If you need plain coffee and you don't like dark roast, they don't have that for you right now. And, you know, it is what it is. But this made such a difference in the way I felt when I was drinking it. And I also want to say, I didn't feel that way after one serving. I've had their cold coffee products before. I didn't drink one and then feel all different. I really didn't. But just today, I had a lot of things to do. And I just made sure that I drank all smart coffee and didn't mix anything else. And I had endless energy and was able to get things done in a way that I just know I didn't have in me before this. And the focus and clarity part, I mean, you need focus and clarity when you're working with a patient and you need to keep them safe and keep you safe because of what's going on in the world. Or when you're editing a video about coffee that you like to drink, focus and clarity is important. This gave it to me, and I swear, I wasn't even expecting it, so I don't believe it's a trick of the mind or anything like that. I usually drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day. By the second cup, I felt different. And the third cup, and then I felt different all day that day, and I felt different every day that week. It's worth buying a 10-pack of this just to try that out if that sounds appealing to you. If you would like to have something that gets you up and gets you going better than just a normal cup of coffee, that's also very good for you, well made, tastes great, and keeps you off soft drinks or energy drinks, go buy a box. Just go buy a 10-pack, order it up, go to their site. If you drink a couple of cups of this, you're gonna be sold. You're gonna be sold. When I get up and go to work, I'm having super coffee because I need it. I'm facing another day out there, and I want focus and clarity. This is a chicken that my mother painted. This is a human that my mother gave birth to. Tune in next week and see what I review, and then you'll be glad you did.